All right, hello and welcome. So today is a little bit of a different episode. Usually I do like game content and like ASMR and like book stuff, but I thought I would do something a little different today. So talk a little bit about it. As you can see, my screen here might tell you a little bit about what I'm going to be looking at today. We're going to be talking today about the game V Rising, just because I'm very, very excited for this new update that's coming out. V Rising is my favorite game, and I have logged in over 400, 500 hours in the game. So obviously I'm very passionate about it. I wanted to just go through this update here and talk a little bit about it as someone who has like a little, I would say I have a little bit of experience in V Rising. Like I've beat all the bosses and beat like Adam and stuff like that. I just wanted to go through this update for the next 1.0 update and talk about the things that are coming out. We'll scroll through here. I might even play these trailers and stuff. We'll start off with the trailer, yeah. So I
centuries our castles lay forgotten in ruin, our kind hidden in darkness. Until now.
Love that lighting.
We will rise from the shadows.
This kind of looks like
Their blood will become
one of the zones.
our power.
The big city. I'm blanking on its name.
Vampires will conquer the night.
So looks like Tristan.
All who oppose us.
God, the visuals are so aesthetically appealing.
You who dare challenge my rule, defy my reign, and face devastation. Know my name.
This is the big bad.
Fear my wrath. For I am Dracula.
Oh yeah. So this is the release date trailer. So the full game will come out May 8th. I might put out like a video around then as well, just talking about like how it actually operates and stuff. Just because I'm really curious to try it out. But let's just go through this video and I can point some things out of interest. So yeah, as I was saying, this this area kind of looks like the big city. I think it's I'm blanking on the name, but to the left of the Dunley farmlands is like an end game zone where it's a massive city, so it kind of looks like that. I think it's Fairbank Woods, Dunley Farmlands, and then to the left, Silverlight Hills, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. So this is Silverlight Hills. Sorry if I got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. It looks like the cinematic takes place here most of the time. We got Tristan the Vampire Hunter here, still a roaming boss. Curious as to if anything will change with this boss into the 1.0 update. Just because a lot of the roaming, there seems to be, right now there is currently technically four roaming bosses, but two of the four you don't actually really like, they're not necessarily bosses, they're more kind of like they just run around. I'm talking about Beatrice the Tailor and one other one. I think it's the guy in in the Mistlands area, who's so annoying to kill. I've been blanking on his name, but those two are roaming bosses, and that they just run around. You have to catch up to them. Whereas Tristan and Knight Marshal Styx are both roaming bosses, and that you have to fight them. Luckily, now if I skip over here, let's see if I can just scroll through. Don't look at any of this. You can now fight Simon Belmont from the Castlevania games. And from the trailer, which I don't think is on this website, so I won't show it, but I will say that he is going to be a roaming boss as well, I'm pretty sure, because it shows that he's just in different zones in the area. So there will be a total of 3 fightable roaming boss, or more so like they will fight you back. So that makes the zones a little interesting. I'm curious as to where Simon will be. If he's going to be in the new zone. From the trailer, it looked like he was just hanging out around, which is very interesting in that I think he will be a boss similar to Tristan and Knight Marshal, but I would assume that Simon is going to be even stronger than Tristan and Knight Marshal, because Simon has canonically beat Dracula, right? So it's a good chance that this boss will be a first zone area that basically if you see him, you're dead, which is a really interesting mechanic from a gameplay perspective. It kind of installs that fear in the first zone of like a very strong enemy. So that's really interesting to think about. We'll go back to the trailer here. So the only other things that I wanted to point out about the trailer that I thought were really interesting were, it's going to come up right around here. So we have Tristan, a lot more wolves. Maybe that will be an aspect of the new zone. They always kind of were missing out on the wolves. So there is one V-Blood boss that's a wolf, but I feel like they could really prioritize more on that part of the game. So we'll see how that works out. Obviously, end game final boss is Dracula. That's always been a thing in the map itself. Right in the middle of the map is Dracula's castle that is broken and you can't get into. So it's always been planned that Dracula would be the final boss. So I'm very excited to do that final boss and see if it holds up. So yeah, world ruins of Mortium. After forgotten centuries, this slumbering piece of this domain of eternal night is punctured by the marching of Dracula's legion. Venture beyond the lanes of man and into the shadows where ancient evil stirs. So here, what we'll do really quickly is we will pull up the V-Rising map, just so that we can I can outline the zones and stuff. We'll just go to the interactive map here. So, oh boy, this is horrible. There's so many different like icons and stuff. How do I just take this off? Map Genie. We'll find a better one. This is better. Okay. So, as you can see, this is the full map here. The new zone here is going to be here. As you can see, they have already actually included part of the area here. So this is going to be called the Ruins of Mortium. I think it will expand outwards onto here. I'm a little curious about the shadowed area. Will we be getting into the Ruins of Mortium through this area here? I would have thought that you'd get in through here and you'd go up to here. But I guess from a gameplay mechanical perspective, you are a higher level in this area than you are in here. Not till Terror Claw, but we still have bosses like Gore, Crusher, who are even higher levels, although they're not crazy much of a difference, so you will be interacting back and forth, but this is a overall lower level zone. So yeah, I guess it would make sense that you would go down into here. Technically, in terms of zone levels, this is you go from here to here. There are also additionally, I don't know why it's not showing up. It should be showing up. There is the Gloomrot zone right here, which is really weird why it's not on this map. But anyways, I digress. This will be the new zone, the Ruins of Mortium. So yeah, as you can see here, it's going to be a conflict zone, which I find really, really interesting to talk about. One of V-Rising's most biggest flaw, I would say, in some ways, is its progression. Not its progression, but its end game content. Basically, once you have beaten all the bosses, the game is essentially kind of over, and there's not really much to do. That was my biggest flaw with the game, is that I would just keep on playing it over and over again. I beat the game, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't have anything to do anymore. I've gotten everything. There's no point. So hopefully these conflict zones, which they've talked about a little bit, they were talking about how they want to emphasize the end game content, kind of have like more like roaming bosses and stuff, will make the end game content more interesting. So we'll see. It says here, gather your strength for war in the ruins of Mortium, an end game region that introduces dynamic conflict events to elevate your V-Rising experience. Engage in skirmishes against Dracula's Legion of Noctum and conquer rifts to claim exclusive resources. So yeah, this is really interesting. The only thing I'm worried from a lore perspective is that these enemies might not like scale necessarily. They might be weaker than Dracula himself, in which case if you've beaten Dracula, will these zones even be worth coming to, because you will be way higher level. Will there be any point to them? We'll see. Hopefully there will be, though. So world improvements, experience new discoveries in Fairbairn Woods, dive into the heart of Vardaran and the Dunley farmlands, and unearth the legend of Dracula's demise, where the iconic vampire king was defeated centuries ago by the Church of the Light. So yeah, we have a couple screenshots here. This one is really, really interesting. Looks like a big red gemstone here. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. Obviously something to do with Dracula. This could be a V-Blood boss, just based off the way he looks. He sort of looks like what a lot of the V-Blood bosses look like. So we'll see if this is something. It looks as well like it's in a fishing area and in a creek. So likely in either like Silverlight Hills or in the west area of Fairbairn Woods. So yeah, we'll see. I have no clue exactly where he'll be, but we'll see. So, world. Cargo travelers. The arrogant humans of Vardaran now traverse the world, carrying precious cargo from location to location. Satisfy your thirst for blood and valuable loot at the same time by intercepting their canvases and further your rise to power. So this is awesome. This is a great update. One of the best things we've heard so far about this is these cargo travelers. Just because it is kind of what I was talking about before, is a roaming kind of thing. The roaming bosses make the game so interesting because it makes the game a little more dynamic, and that you won't necessarily always know what's going to happen when you're traveling about Vardaran, right? So we'll see how we interact with these. I assume you go in, you attack them, and then there will be different levels of them, because here, as we can see, this cargo traveler is in Silverlight Hills, and in the next photo they are in what looks like either, I think it's probably actually the farmlands here and not Fairbairn Woods. And then yeah, Fairbairn Woods. This is Fairbairn Woods. So yeah, Fairbairn Woods, farmlands, and then finally Silverlight Hills. So yeah, different levels of cargo travelers, getting items and stuff from them. We'll see if there will be any really interesting drops. I think that would be a really cool system, is like super rare clothing drops. So if you don't know, V-Rising has a system where they have helmets, and helmets are items that are basically all cosmetic. Helmets and capes, technically. So maybe we could get some helmets and capes from these cargo travelers that make it so that you are like fishing for a specific cape from one of these roaming cargo travelers. So yeah, very interesting. World Vardaran comes to life. More love has been put into the visuals of the world. The wilds have been sprinkled with touches of additional flavor and life to enrich the setting. Our new light engine lets us better handcraft the moods all across Vardaran. So this one is really intriguing. This is a massive update from a graphical perspective. As you can see, you can notice differences already here in the mist and stuff. The pools here in Silverlight Hills, you can notice like the graphical difference. I already thought the game looked really good, I'm going to be honest. But yeah, hopefully this will be something that will enhance the experience. I'm just hoping that my computer can handle it. I'm sure it can, but yeah, I'm curious as to how if this will be like a positive effect for lower end PCs, or a negative effect, or if overall it'll just be the beneficial feature. So we'll see. So this is extremely interesting. I will preface that I actually read this already, this part. So I wanted to talk a little bit about it. So gameplay, shape your journey, new ways to play. V Rising now offers easy solutions to choose your level of difficulty. You can now also choose the brutal experience designed for seasoned vampires to test their wits against enemies in V-Bloods with new advanced techniques and exciting twists to spice up the journey. So yeah, as I might actually stumble a couple times throughout this just because there's so many cool things. I'm such a fan of this game that everything small is just big to me. But this is huge. This is massive. As you can see, there's going to be 3 different difficulty levels, which is really cool. Maybe more in the future, you never know, right? Like we could get something more similar to like a game like Diablo, and you have like 7 difficulty levels. I doubt that will be the case though, just because they seem to have pushed these 3 here. So you've got your relaxed, your standard, and your brutal mode. Relaxed is more for, as they say, for those that favor exploration, building, and more relaxed combat. This is really cool for people who just want to play the game a lot more casually. Because I know, like V Rising as a game, it kind of is in between both like a base building kind of Animal Crossing game and like an adventure explore RPG kind of game. And so sometimes people struggle with like, oh, I want to do the base building or I want to go out, and like I personally enjoy both. I think I would actually say that I prefer the RPG perspective more in the game, just because I'm what I'm comfortable with. But yeah, like this relaxed mode will allow people to play and like advance through the game, because there are a lot of bosses that are quite tough in this game, in all honesty, and so people might not get deterred from getting more stuff in the game because of how tough the bosses are. Obviously, on the other end of the spectrum, this is probably what I'll be playing, is the brutal mode, face devastating challenges in a world with evolved adversaries. The most interesting thing about this here is that these bosses will get advanced techniques and exciting twists to spice up the journey. This is really intriguing. So, a slight spoiler here, so if you want to skip forward like a minute or so, the final boss as of right now is Adam the Firstborn. And Adam is intriguing in that he's the only boss who has like a second phase. You kill him and then he comes back alive, essentially, or something along the lines of that. So I'm curious as to if these advanced techniques and exciting twists to spice up the journey will kind of be in that vein. Really hoping that Adam won't have like 3 phases now rather than 2. If you go in brutal mode, that would be horrendous. I spent so much time trying to 1v1 that boss and finally did it, and so having to do that again with a brutal mode would be a lot, because as much as I love this game, I am not the best at it. That's definitely for sure. So and yeah, standard mode, experience focused on exploration, building, and challenging combat. I assume this is just what it is right now as the game is. So, enemies Dracula. Dracula has been biding his time and gathering his power in the depths of the Shadow Realm. This is great, the Shadow Realm. I think that's so funny that they just are like, he's from Shadow Realm. Reminds me of something like Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff. His servants fled the land, gathering blood to fuel his return, but Vardarin can only have one apex predator. Ride into Mortium, strike into the heart of Dracula's castle, pierce the Shadow Realm, and cut down history's greatest tyrant to claim ultimate supremacy. So this is the design of Dracula. Really interesting design from my perspective. I didn't expect him to look the way he does. The armor is very Dracula-esque. I will admit, I didn't expect him to have such short kind of hair and stuff. Yeah, it's still menacing, obviously, and so this will be a very exciting boss fight to play out. Yeah, the only concern I have with this as well is that as I mentioned before, like if you finish this boss, will the game finish itself? The thing is, V Rising as a game has always wanted to be like a game where you finish the game and it's done with Dracula. They've said that in multiple different dev blogs and stuff. And so like I'm happy this exists. I do hope that there will be endgame content after Dracula, but we'll see. So speaking of that, enemies Dracula's Legion face off against a new enemy, the fearsome Draculan monasteries of the Legion of Noctem battle with the mighty generals, the highest echelon of Dracula's court, Alanga the Hollow, Cassius the Betrayer, and Valenza the Depraved. So I'm going to just go based off the photo and assume that those 3 are 1, 2, 3. Maybe this will be a part of the boss fights. So this is where a big question comes: will these be V-Blood bosses or roaming bosses? Because as the update showed beforehand, we get these conflict zones. Will we be seeing them in roaming areas, or will we be just tracking them down with using the V-Blood system? I'm not exactly sure. We'll see what happens. Either way, I will be happy because these are really cool from a design perspective. I like the white and red thing that's going on right now with these bosses. Kind of give more of like a demonic vibe to Dracula, rather than just like having regular vampires. You get these monstrosities, so that'll be really intriguing to play against. As I mentioned before, Simon Belmont, prepare for an epic encounter with Simon Belmont as a legendary vampire hunter adventures into Vardarin. Do you have the courage to stand toe-to-toe with the hero of the Belmont clan, master of the powerful whip? So yeah, Simon has canonically killed Dracula, and so I'm curious as to what level this boss will be. Will it be like a final boss, or will it be before Dracula? Or it could even, like, the thing is, since it's a roaming boss in the first zone, you never know, it could just literally be like a level 20 boss or something like that we have to beat to progress into the farmlands. So we'll see what happens there. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. So yeah, this will probably be a little bit of a longer video just because there's so much to unpack here with this update. I'm going over everything, and I don't even think I am like halfway through yet. So we'll keep on talking here. So, improve magic. Your mastery of dark sorcery is now versatile than ever. Immerse yourself in newfound possibilities by unlocking spells in the order that best suits your playstyle. Unite with your clan and share a powerful well of passive magic bonuses. So this is really interesting to unpack. At first glance, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I think this will be something that will be very vital to the system of V Rising with regards to combat. Magic has always been something that people either really love or they kind of hate. But unlocking spells in the order that best suits your playstyle kind of gives you more of and the ability to play the game the way you want more. I think that's something they've been really pushing, is not just necessarily making the game. It kind of operates in a way where you have to get every different item in order to progress. They don't really want to do that as much anymore. They want more so you to play the playstyle you want. Unite with your clan and share a powerful well of passive magic bonuses. So this is basically just them saying, hey, play the game with other people and we will give you a bonus on top of it. Interesting from a multiplayer perspective. Hopefully this will be something that will also be in maybe single player, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. So this is so cool. New weapons here. As you can see, two of them. We've got the bow and we have the whip. So draw your bowstring and pick off your foes with pinpoint precision. Throw your whip and lash out at your enemies when imperiled deadly grace with brand new weapons at your disposal. There are more methods than ever to dish out death. So it's hard to say if these will be the only ones that we get in the update. In all honesty, if that is the case, I am okay with that. I think this system they have so far with the weapons they have are quite good. If you add too many weapons, it gets a little tougher. It is interesting though in that they want you to solo your path, kind of in that they want you to play a certain playstyle. So maybe there will be multiple weapons to choose from, rather than having to get every single weapon. You just get one of those multiple weapons. I am extremely excited for this bow. I've always been a big fan of the crossbow, but I don't use it very often because I don't like the way it works in the game. It just isn't that great, in all honesty. In some ways it's good from a range perspective, but a lot of the bosses I find the scythe just is so much better against them. So hopefully this will be kind of like a quicker version of the crossbow. The crossbow works cool in that its Q and E ability are amazing, but its basic attack, it just takes so long to unload that hopefully the bow will get rid of that and allow for more playable experience, because I assume it'll have more of a rapid fire kind of feel to it. So yeah, I will be using a bow in this game for sure. If you see me playing the game, it will be with a bow, which will be very exciting. So yeah, new unique weapons. Conquer all obstacles with an all new arsenal of Apex legendary weapons, each one specifically tailored to a different playstyle. Choose your armament. So yeah, I've got two photos here. This is the axe Q right here that we have. It's the attack of the four blades going out. On the left here, we have Ancestral Orange weapons, which is the category right before Dark Silver weapons, and before your blue weapons before that. So yeah, we'll see how this works. Combat Ancestral Weapon upgrades no matter how you rise, never abandon your weapons of war. Ancestral Forge now upgrades your legendary weapons to keep up with your progress, meaning you never have to choose between a new tier of tool and your favorite set of blood drinking axes. This is so interesting from a gameplay perspective. So the thing with this that I find intriguing is I think there are goods and bads to this. Essentially, the Ancestral Forge is an item that you don't craft till the last, I think it's 3 tiers of weapons. So is this just going to be the same, and you just will be losing out on your dark silver weapons and just going from blue to orange right away? Because as you can see here in the photo, this is a blue item, and it will probably upgrade into an orange item, I assume. Seems here it's purple blue. I don't know what that means necessarily, but we'll see. Hopefully, I'm hoping that this will work in a way where maybe you can get the Ancestral Forge way earlier on and just keep on upgrading your weapons with time. That I think would be a much more interesting perspective on the game. That way you could literally just keep one weapon and just always upgrade it and never have to get other weapons. In which case, yeah, I'll just be using them both the whole game, unless it's bad. This is so cute. Okay. Combat Spider Form, Skitter to safety as the spider. Change your form to help you give your enemies the slip and protect yourself from your enemies' watchful eyes and the burning rays of sunlight by hiding in the soil itself. Never be caught out and vulnerable again. God, this is so cool. It's just sick. It's like you can be a spider and you can literally just go around the world and stuff like that, right? Like, it's cool. From a mechanical perspective here, let's take a look at this photo. Yeah, so you can go on the ground. I'm not a massive fan of the mechanical perspective of this spider form idea, just because I think it kind of devalues the gameplay perspective of the sun, which is so quintessential. You're going out in the sun and you have to hide. If you can just bypass that with spider form, it makes it lose out on that aspect. But like, if this is something that is like a far end game kind of thing, then yeah, I'm cool with that. I think like if you basically are in the winter zone, you've played 80-90% of the game at that point, you probably are tired of the sun, and you might as well just get this cool spider form, and you can kind of flex on your friends and stuff with it, right? And then you can go out in the sun, and it's way easier. So yeah, we'll see. Additionally, obviously, you're stuck in the sun. Kind of a good way to make it so that enemies can't see you. I assume V-Bloods would probably still be able to notice and attack you, though, which still makes the game a little more roamy, right? So, combat new armor. Elevate your vampire status with an entirely new level of armor and equipment, and get geared up to face the greatest threat to your rule yet. On your way to greatness, tailor your garments to your whims with a fresh variety of armor sets that enhance different styles of play. So this is so sick. What's really interesting about this is that, like, yeah, you can kind of just now, in the base game, it was just your own armor sets and you would upgrade them, but there was no like playability to them. It was more so just like you get the stats and armor to them, and you would choose one type of set and then you just keep on going up. Now they're making it so that you can prioritize things. So this looks like something that might be more like a range build. This looks like something that might be more of a melee build. You wear this armor if you want to run like a greatsword build. So that will be really interesting from an RPG perspective. Castle. Relocate your castle trapped in your first home in Farbane. Now, using nothing more than a little vampire magic, you can move from any plot in the world to any available one by laying down the framework and pressing a button. So this is just a massive quality of life update. This has always been a pain in the ass in the game, is relocating your castle. You start off in the woods, and then you're like, hey, I want to go to Gloomrot now. I have to travel all the way across the map. This makes things way easier, and it's just a great quality of life update. Seamless item management. Forge advanced stations for crafting at massively increased speeds, and enjoy multiple UI improvements that make the whole process much smoother. So this is another new thing. As you can see here, we have our basic inventory system, which kind of looks like it used to. It looks here like this is another level of bag here. Maybe like the next tier above for the winter zones. So that's really exciting. We'll see if it will give us a lot more bag slots. These 4 buttons here are brand new. I'm not exactly sure how they work, but this looks like almost like a download button or something. It's kind of weird. But obviously I think it's more of like a drop item thing. So yeah, these things are going to be really nice for utility in the game. And crafting at massively increased speeds. Yeah, like I guess a level 2 crafter or something, which would be faster, would be more would help out with like the progression in the game. So that's something that's going to be intriguing. I'm curious as to how they will implement that. Newcastle Decor, your layer reflects your inner vampire. To that end, we're providing you with even more decorations to show off your impeccable and superior taste. Music player, craft your music player and unlock the haunting melodies of Vardoran. Immerse yourself as the familiar music echoes through the corridors of your castle. This is just customization options. This is awesome, though, the music player. There are definitely songs that I prefer over other songs in this game, and getting to like play them on loop is going to be really cool. So this is going to be great. Additionally, with the castle decor and stuff, they always add that with the new update, though. There's always like new things you can get. So we'll see how that works. All right. Customization, Eternal Elegance. Elevate your vampiric persona with enhanced customization options. Unleash your creativity as you color dye your outfits while displaying any appearance you want. With 10 plus new armor sets to mix and match however you like, you can achieve any fantasy. So this is just transmog for anyone who has played RPGs. You can change the colors and dyes of your armor. This is really cool. We'll go through some of them here. Got your black and green. This looks kind of like maybe like a endgame mage armor set, just because of its, or it could be like a melee set as well, just because it's a bit thicker. But yeah, really cool colors. This is so huge. This is just massive. For the people out there who like play this game religiously, this is going to be great because like once you beat the game, what do you do? Oh, well, now you have an achievement system. You can push yourself for different achievements. This will be massive for me. Gamepad support, it's finally here, introducing gamepad support for PC, offering a new hands-on action-packed V-Rising experience, including a reimagined HUD user interface crafted specifically for gamepad enthusiasts, ensuring a seamless and immersive gameplay journey. So yeah, you get your PS5 controllers, your Xbox controllers, and so on forth on a third party and stuff. This is really great. I know the game is coming to PS5 soon as well. So the more people, the merrier. And I guess from a controller UI perspective, this looks really clean. I like how simple it is. You have your Chaos abilities here and your Greatsword abilities here, not taking up the whole screen. And then you have other things here. So yeah, super simple. Really like it. As I mentioned here, achievement system. This is huge. I will be going for 100%, and I will probably be failing. The music, take in the melancholic tones of a lost vampire emperor and Roots of Murder and face off against Simon Belmont with familiar Castlevania tones, and embrace yourself for the epic showdown against Dracula with our end boss symphonies. This is so cool. Like, this is just great. Being able to listen to Castlevania music in your castle while playing the game is just going to be huge, because, like, let's just be honest, the Castlevania soundtrack is amazing. And so yeah, this is really cool. I'm curious as to if they will like reimagine the songs or if they will be like that. Sorry, I need to scroll down when I'm looking at these far right areas. But yeah, we'll see how it works. Alright, Legacy of Castlevania Premium Pack. Unlock the ultimate Castlevania experience and V-Rising. Unleash your inner Alucard as you craft this iconic outfit and take to the road on Skeletor horseback with Roy in saddle. So there's a trailer here. Yeah, well, you know what? We'll play it. Give it a watch.
show you the might of the House Belmont! Face me! Taste the fury of the Belmont!
That was really cool. So much to unpack here as well. Really quickly, going through this boss battle here. This has to be one of the most aesthetically pleasing boss battles I've seen. Just the way they showcase how you as a player can use your abilities against him is so cool. Seeing his abilities, he's got a lot of like Fire Lance attacks. Had this big ultimate here near the end where he turns on like a big glow. I assume if you beat him, maybe you get this glow. Usually that's kind of how a lot of bosses work. They're big attacks. Sometimes it gets like an alternate version of it. New area, Castlevania themed. I love this. I don't know if this is an NPC that you can interact with or like something else. It's so funny. So we'll see how that works. And yeah, you have these areas in Silverlight Hills that look a little different now as well. So yeah, very cool. Premium Pack Timeless Majesty. I can't pronounce that. I don't know why right now. Surround yourself with timeless majesty and putting the castle in Castlevania. Build a worthy throne, a regal coffin, imposing statues, and all the cascading beauty to fully realize your noble vampire fantasy. So this is just really cool. I absolutely love this right here, the Symphony of Night portrait. The fact that they can do that is just so sick. I feel like Castlevania fans who are like dying for a game right now must be like, oh, I should just play this game, right? Because like they're including all the Castlevania stuff. It's just like, this is so cool, these things here. It's like super aesthetically appealing. The statues here are cool. But these are just awesome. The windows here and the frames for the old Castlevania games, just so sick. This is funny. Okay. Let's see if there's any other photos here. Okay, alright. Yeah. Oh, I did not expect that, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect this either, but I did expect this. I had a feeling that this would be the case. So transform yourself with 3 new and thrilling shape-shifting forms. Disguise yourself as the prodigal Maria Reynard. I pronounced that probably wrong. Experience the feral dignity of Alucard's wolf form, or leap with joy as the mischievous flea man. Interesting. This mischievous flea man I think is funny as shit. Like, can you imagine just like 20 of these guys roaming around murdering? Like, so silly. I don't know if that is a Castlevania thing. I've played a couple of Castlevania games, but I've never heard of a Mischievous Flea Man, or if that's just they put it in there because they thought it was funny. But yeah, it's really interesting. You got Maria as well here. This is cool. And then the wolf form, obviously, with the sword. Just classic Castlevania. So super cool. Premium Pack Cosmetics. Ride into the battle upon road wines famed skeletal steed and enjoy the delicious irony of bringing your unliving fantasy to life. Sport 5 new hairstyles: Alucard, the Licari sisters, and 2 succubus experiments. Big fan of this one here. Obviously, people are going to be playing as Alucard because you can get the hairstyle. That's just like a whole thing that's just going to happen. That's going to be really cool. And yeah, Skeletal Seed looks super sick. Really enjoy the design here. Kind of reminds me of old WoW World of Warcraft mounts with the Skeletal Seed here. So super cool. Interesting to see how that will work. And I think that might be the end of the update here for 1.0. I unpacked a lot of things here. And there's so many interesting things, so I'll see if there's anything else I really want to go over. I think that was most of it, though. So we'll see how 1.0 comes out, how it works. As I mentioned before, some of my concerns are endgame content, but I think things like this achievement system and the difficulty will spice up the game for people who want to take it to a different level, like me and stuff, and want to just really play the hell out of it, right? So hopefully that will do it. But yeah, as I was saying, if we can get some more endgame stuff after Dracula, that'd be really cool. I think that will make the game a little more positive from an in-game perspective. Something I have thought about that I thought I'll finish the video off with this as an idea is a lot of games tend to have a new game plus. I think that is something that would work so well for V Rising, in my personal opinion. I don't think there are many people who really talk about it. At least like YouTube content creators that I watch who mention it. I think it would be really well though, work really well because it would kind of satisfy that end game itch that people want. You beat Dracula, now you go back and you have to battle the early bosses, and they're just as powerful as Dracula. I think something like people pushing for a Dracula on like Endgame 5 or something like that would just be super satisfying from like a difficulty perspective. And then people would be like, oh, like this is obviously, I don't know if this is gonna ever happen, but like, what if you're like, oh, I'm on brutal difficulty right now, I'm on Dracula Endgame 5 and stuff like that. I think that would just be so cool to see like how far people can push the difficulty in this game, because yeah, as I was saying, once you beat it, it gets a little repetitive. So hopefully this difficulty system will deal with that. Anyways, that was the video. A little bit different than normal videos, but I just wanted to talk about this update because it's such a huge update. And yeah, hopefully when the game comes out, maybe I will put out some videos and stuff talking about it. Have a good day. Bye bye.